idea, a new world order.
Your world is not what it seems. Alex answering. Outside the box.
Our world is surely not what it seems, especially these days. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Outside the Box TV. I'm your host, Alex Answery, with you for the next hour. It is February 13th, 2011. So glad you all could join me tonight on this pre-Valentine's Day edition of Outside the Box. Very romantic. Yes, I can just feel it in the air. You'll have to excuse me for not putting a red tablecloth over the table tonight. The banquet crew is, they have the week off. But we hope to share some love with you tonight. We have the phone calls wide open, 503-288-4442. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts and your concerns on the state of the world. The very first thing I'm going to be mentioning tonight is the very important lecture that I and a few others at the Portland Preparedness Center have organized on the date of February 26th, 2011. Bob Felix is coming to town. Now, we may be holding this lecture at a church down the street, or it could be at the PPC, but we're looking at securing a 200-seat auditorium. We're going to be filming this. A professional film crew is coming, and later on it will be available for purchase on DVD. But what's important about this is that if you want to come to this lecture, write down that phone number, and we'll bring this up later on during this broadcast. 503-252-2525. 503-252-2525. That's the number for the Portland Preparedness Center. And this is a free lecture. So if you want to come to this lecture, give me a call and leave your name, leave your phone number, and leave your email. All of those details are very important, especially the phone number, and I will put you on the list. So go ahead, do that tonight. Do it during the show, but certainly get on it before all of those seats are reserved. We will talk about the strange phenomenon sweeping Earth right now. Bill, let's jump to graphic number 38. And what you're seeing on the screen before you now is satellite imagery of what Earth looks like right now. And as we look at all of this snow and read about all of these reports in the Midwest, different conclusions are coming to the table. HAARP, of course, is a very popular one amongst conspiracy theorists and people that think they know what's going on with the weather. Bob Felix has another take on what's going on that's based in actual science, the geological record of times in our planet's history where we've gone through ice ages in the past. Major changes to our weather, to our planet that have affected civilization. And of course, this dovetails with theories and possibilities of a futuristic event where we have a solar flare that takes us back to the Stone Age. And of course, people have different takes on that. Some view a end-of-the-world scenario as being purported by the mainstream media, and some, and this would be the box I'm in, the beginning of our freedom from the New World Order. So it's time to prepare for a new world because times, they are a-changing. 503-288-4442. And this event with Bob Felix truly signifies the grand opening of the Portland Preparedness Center. Magnetic reversal, sun rays to roast the earth as poles flip, ? From a UK Guardian story, quote, the strength of Earth's magnetic field, the force that protects us from deadly radiation from outer space, has been weakening dramatically. Although scientists have been tracking this decline for more than 100 years, they've disagreed about what it means. Some say it's a precursor to a reversal. Others argue it's a temporary phenomenon. Earth's magnetic field seems to be disappearing most alarmingly near the poles, a clear sign that a flip may soon take place. I believe, as well as many others, that this is going to hit mass consciousness on planet Earth by the summer of this year, where you're going to see more and more scientists talk about this potential event. And the naysayers say, hey, you know what? It's a gradual change. It's not necessarily going to happen in our lifetimes, but is that the most important thing to look at, whether there's a pole shift or not? What we do know is that magnetic north is moving, and there are other independent researchers outside of NASA that have the tools to measure where magnetic north is. You ever heard of a compass? And so what we're looking at here is the possibility of a continuation, a increasing shift in where magnetic north actually is. Now, it's moving 40 miles a year east towards Siberia or Russia. And of course, we saw the dead birds and the dead fish rock the planet not too long ago, with most people jumping jumping to conclusions. It's HAARP, it's man, it's HAARP, it's poison, it's HAARP, it's the oil spill. But then you have record low temperatures in Chesapeake Bay, in places where it's never, for years, for multiple decades, never has it been this cold. We're going to get into what's taking place in North Korea tonight with the crop failures. We're going to talk about Mexico and the crop failures. We'll also talk about China, but you're going to see price increases in the future. At the Portland Preparedness Center, there are resources there that can help you to an extent get prepared for uncertain times. But I'm also trying to think big beyond the Portland Preparedness Center, which is, by the way, not my store, but a place where I am currently employed. And I'm thinking about the bigger picture. I'm thinking about potentially running for city council in 2012. I'm thinking about all the different ways that I can help and educate as we go through these strange times. But I'm always welcome to volunteers. I'm always welcome to additional help to make some of these things a reality, because this is not just simply a one-man show where it's just me on the telly, me on the box. It's also me coordinating a lot of things single-handedly, organizing things of that nature. But for some of you that are looking forward to get-togethers and meetups, developing a mindset of being an organizer, a volunteer coordinator, being a part of something, not just simply a spectator where you go to a show and you watch a lecture, but actually being involved. That's what I'm actually seeking. Magnetic polar shifts causing massive global superstorms. Now, this is a mainstream article that came out last week, either from The Guardian or from the London Telegraph. And it's a very long, detailed article. In fact, I printed off the full one. But for time consideration, I'm going to do my best to be brief and cover simply the most important details. And Bill, I think I left some of those reports on the desk inside there, but let's go ahead and begin here. NASA has been warning about it. Scientific papers have been writing about it. Geologists have seen its traces in rock strata and ice core samples. Now it is here. An unstoppable magnetic pole shift that has sped up and is causing life-threatening havoc with the world's weather. Thank you. Forget about global warming, man-made or natural. What drives planet weather patterns is the climate, and what drives the climate is the sun's magnetosphere and its electromagnetic interaction with a planet, with our planet's own magnetic field. Don't forget, we as humans also have magnetic fields. So when planetary changes come upon the Earth, we also go through changes in our own lives, also psychologically. Some say we become more telepathic. Yes, this is speculative, but start to look at your own thoughts, your dreams, and also pay attention to the strange behavior of others. And pay attention to when there's solar flares, because you might just find a correlation between the two. Strange, unusual behavior and strange behavior coming from the sun. That which created us also created the sun. This is also very important to remember. When the field shifts, when it fluctuates, when it goes into flux, it begins to become unstable. Anything can happen. And what normally happens is that all hell breaks loose. Magnetic polar shifts have occurred many times in Earth's history. It's happening again now to every planet in the solar system, including Earth. If you type in Alex Ansari's solar flares in Nexus magazine, you'll get the 8-page article I wrote on my 29th birthday on February 25th, 2009. And that means I'm going to be turning 31 around the time of this Bob Felix event. And I'm looking forward to moving forward in life. I'm also looking forward to being 33 in 2013. I'm sure that's going to be very, very interesting. Remember, the Masons were into the number 33 for a reason. It wasn't just something they made up themselves. It was Tesla that talked about the magic of the 3s, 6s, and 9s. And if we only understood that, if we understood the magic of numerology and real science, free energy, we wouldn't be enslaved to the fossil fuel system that we're currently enslaved to. John Searle, by the way, who's known as the godfather of free energy, he's going to be on this show via telephone on the first Sunday of March. See a lot of these things dovetail together. Exploration into free energy, how we can get off the grid, how we can be independent from dependence as we go through the shift. Can you see now how there are possible good times ahead if we make the right preparations? But what does it actually mean to prepare? It's far more than having your own food storage and having your own foodstuffs and having a grab-and-go pack. Everybody out there, a lot of people that I've met, they're very interested in getting their own stuff for their own family, and they're leaving out that critical component of community. And of course, community, you have the word commune in the root word of community. You have commune, and so some people hear commune and community, they get scared and they go, oh, cult, come together. That sounds scary. I'm an independent, but realistically, strategically, is it not in our best interests as the police state comes about, as the economy implodes, as safety for the average woman plummets in this country? Is it not important for us to prepare and develop a backup plan? And this is what I hope to see, and this is what I hope to encourage through the rest of the broadcast, the rest of the year, and through next year, to get some of you to run for city council, to run for something. And of course, people are watching this on youtube.com/AlexAnswery that are not living in Portland, Oregon. Many people are watching this show in Europe. And many of us are facing the same thing, the same circumstances. Weather changes aside, cries and screams and demands for true accountability, true transparency in governments across the land, from the local, national, and international level. And that's what we're calling for, and that's what we have to involve ourselves in, even if it means some of you infiltrating. In other words, being a mole. Saying one thing so you can get inside, and once you're inside, doing what needs to be done for the people. It's been suggested by some to research and learn what the secret societies do to infiltrate and adopt their tactics, adopt some of their ways of going about impacting society, but this time for the better. I don't see myself so much as an infiltrator. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I tell it as it is. I speak truthfully. I do, to the best of my ability, try to speak clearly. But the point that I'm making is, there are many things that I'm not in a position to be doing because I'm doing this right now. But planting seeds of consciousness, making suggestions, asking you to find the solution for yourself instead of asking somebody else for it, that's golden. Especially when you develop the ability to think for yourself, and you don't even need to listen to talk radio to find out what's going on or a particular person. You know exactly what's going on and what you need to do about it for yourself. Free will. That's the ultimate activator here. That's the ultimate deal breaker here. Utilizing that free will and not going along with the system just because you might think that you have to. So we have these reports here that are very, very relevant. Kudos to Paul Joseph Watson. He's the webmaster of propagandamatrix.com, and he put together this report, and this is normally coming from a website. He's also the webmaster for Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Alex J doesn't talk too much about earth changes. He simply keeps it to the level of martial law, and the troops are going to get you, and the death camps are waiting. But he definitely went to the next level recently with this headline: Pole shift threatens to cause weather chaos. And it's important to understand what's taking place on the planet right now, because many people are going to continue Al Gore's agenda to take what's taking place on the planet to serve their own agenda, the agenda of Goldman Sachs, which will be issuing the carbon credits. And what it really is a way they figured out how to make money off of you and me and create a new slave class where we're taxed by the mile, and you know where the rest of this goes. But there's no solution as to what we do about the problem. It's just siphoning more money, as if we have it, out of our pockets and into their bank accounts. And again, we just witnessed, and we're still witnessing it, the greatest, the largest, it's seismic, bank robbery, only the bankers are doing the robbing, in the history of our country. And so they do not have the benefit of the doubt, to be good caretakers of the planet. When we see groups like Monsanto and Whole Foods, now coined Whole Trader, because Whole Foods has now entered a truce with Monsanto over genetically engineered alfalfa.